Hello, good evening. Welcome to my first Yuzucast. I've done a Wormcast before, but this is my first time just recording my voice and nothing else. I have three segments to bring to you tonight, three separate things that I wanted to talk about. And I've got my tea. I drank my tea. I have a teacup. My desk is clear. There's no games. It's a pretty different vibe from usual, actually. So yesterday I recorded Kirby Squeak Squad series finale even, and the first extra episode. So it's a big moment to talk about channel. I'm bringing up channel, Love Live, and games tonight. Those are my three topics. So to start off, anecdotal storytelling. Yesterday I was feeling pretty crappy, honestly. It was a dark and dreary, somewhat stormy April Tuesday. I had more school than I wanted. I was very anxious. I'm very, very tired. It's really been a month since coronavirus sent me home. And Squeak Squad may have been an entirely at-home coronavirus series, which is ridiculous. But for a long time we've been living this way. And as suspected, there never was a clear back to normal time, and it doesn't seem like anybody has one, so there's a lot of making sense of your life right now, especially when you're a college kid, and the world's like your oyster, but you have to aim for your oyster and everything, and sometimes you don't want to aim for your oyster while the world's falling apart, and you don't know what oyster to aim for. But my oyster has been being a weeaboo, being a household weeb. It's been extremely weeby for the last month here, and I'm really happy about what I've been doing with my time. Strangely, it's been a great time for escapism, and my life's been a great life for escapism. And I dare say I have a knack for it, and I especially like sharing things. And I've been doing a lot of sitting and soul searching and kind of processing what this specifically is to me. I've had false starts. I've had starts, not calling this one a real one, with all sorts of stuff like this, playing video games, even making music, making podcasts, and doing all that kind of self-branding, content share-y kind of stuff. But this has been the first time where, for numerous factors, people supporting me, friends supporting me, having people who have done this directly helping me, and even the people who helped them helping me. I think the most important thing is that yesterday was sort of a dreary, dreary April day, and I wasn't feeling much. Honestly, even talking to my friends was kind of just like, is this really what I need? And I'm a big talker. That is like my go-to for anything. And there was just a seed in my brain that was like, you have to record Kirby. You have to just do it. Like hitting a punching bag. Just do it. And I was like, you can't record nice content when you're feeling shitty and hope to feel better. Like, that's not how it works. But lo and behold, that's exactly how it worked. I'm extremely happy with those 3 episodes that I made, 7, 8, and the first extra episode. I hit like a peak of quality in what I liked doing with episode 6, and that was kind of inspiring me on. And I think I aimed for that, even though I wasn't feeling quite as giddy, and just sort of like faking it till you make it, just aiming for the giddiness and focusing on the goodness. I really did end up grooving, and I really enjoyed myself, and I hope the stress of the day didn't transfer into I don't think that it's going to sound like a content, that a trio of episodes that like was made on a stressful day. But I really felt truly good by the end, and I looked outside, and the sun peeked through the storm, and actually when I was done with the first episode, there was a really nice sunset and clouds and lots of sun reflecting on the raindrops in my window. And I was like, this was the thing to do. So I think the difference now is content creating as a performance versus content creating as an action or a vocation or a trade. My friend Liz, actually, I can name friends here, because Liz was also the friend who I made the Yo video for. I almost wrote down as Hina in my notes today, because Hina's another Yo gender favorite. Another Yo for Liz's gender and favorite. Liz was talking about having an interest in content creating, and me and Aki from OHAC, who's a big influence of mine, Aki from Autumn Station, that's where she lives now. We were just talking about the trade, and that's when I realized that I've been doing this for a bit now. And we both talked about how it eventually stops being a performance or, an act or a ruse or a job or a thing you do for views or anything. It eventually just becomes an action. It becomes like a craft and just something that you do, ideally for an emotional response, which is a place I've been trying to transition to with games and stuff. I've been trying to play them not as like a way to like beat a thing or prove a thing, but just a way to feel better after I play them. I'll probably talk later about the shift with New Horizons and how this first year of getting back into gaming has gone. There's a lot to talk about this time of year, actually, so I'm glad that I did this, but I'm making this video, this podcast thing tonight, just because I wanted to make a video tonight, and as I'm talking about, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel better after I make something, so this is what I'm doing. But that's enough about me. More important things that happened yesterday. We've got Kirby content until the 10th, Sunday the 10th. And after that, oh boy, I can't talk to you about it yet. I spent a bunch of time last night thinking about the summer and just life circumstances with the coronavirus. I'm in the process of accepting how quiet my summer is going to be. I think in reality, I've got one internship that could turn into a paid position remotely. It's not enough to like satisfy me. I've also got like a small amount of online courses, but still not enough to like satisfy me. So I'm probably going to be looking for either like something nice in the area to do, or realistically just more remote work on my computer, which is just a lot of laptop for a summer, but it makes for what could be a really, really good summer and a long stretch of time in which I can really work on just Yuzucast and questing and that kind of thing. So I've got a vision, and it is a vision of multiple visions, and I'm still toying around with what part fits where, and I'm going to reveal it all in a Yuzucast Direct soon. I would say you can expect it before Kirby ends. The series finale is the 4th. The last extra episode is the 10th. It's not impossible that I do more extra episodes. I haven't decided yet. I mean, I will eventually, but I mean releasing them now. There's more to be played in the game for sure, and I really like the extra episode that I did. But stay tuned for if I release more in May, because I'm probably going to get right down into the next set of projects right after Kirby's done. Because basically this 2020 Let's Play season, or 2 seasons, has been 2 9-episode things that I was able to do with like half-hour episodes every Sunday. And I liked the routine quite a lot. And that is definitely a big thing that I have in mind going into the summer. But it was made to work around the fact that I was a full-time student. And even out of college or at home doing online college, I was still very full-time and busy. So the summer with all of these like half commitments that I'm talking about really gives me more time to be creative. And I know that pretty soon when I graduate next year, I'm going to have even less time to work on things. So I think the summer, the theme of the summer is going to be mega evolving everything that I've done so far and just really pushing it. I have visions and, things that I want to do for all the different facets of what I've done so far in this channel, and just sort of push them and test them and, push myself to a new place with all the different things that I've done and see which I like the best and see what I enjoy and have a bunch of nice stuff left over afterwards probably. But yeah, I want to do that. I want to right now I'd say jobs and stuff, being a student is so vague and overwhelming that it's been really grounding to have some weebery to work on. But more than that, I've just been looking back on all the people who have influenced me and all the experiences I've had with anime and stuff, especially Nintendo and especially Love Live. And it's a time for kind of, well, I didn't expect it to be, but Kirby was a big awakening, I would say. I really, when I watched myself playing Kirby, I was like, that's great. And I think something along the way Love Live has been creeping up. Looking back, this last month has been an explosion of Love Live out of absolutely nowhere, and has been building for quite a bit. But the dormant flame of my passion for school idol projects really combust. And when I made that Yo video, I was like, that's another thing that I love seeing myself do. That was my favorite thing I've ever seen myself do, and it was really fun seeing everybody turn out Saturday and talk about the different cards and everything. It was really, really absolute tops. So I have a lot of thoughts, like what fits where, what kind of things merge, like do I want to focus on some things more than others? I don't really know yet, but I do know that this has been really exciting, and the more I do it, the better I get at it, and the more rewarding it becomes right now. So looking forward to some feeding of the fire is what I would say. The fire's gonna get fed. But transitioning from that, second topic is Love Live. And I've been having a lot of thoughts about fandom. After I made the Yo video, I went on to Idol Story. Idol Story. It's by the people who make Bandirty Party and School Idol Tomodachi. I get a lot of assets from School Idol Tomodachi, and Idol Story is a site specifically for All-Stars, so that's where I get all my All-Stars assets, and they're a really good site. I really recommend them. And there was a Yo birthday festival, and I threw the video from Saturday up there, and I got randomly selected as the winner, which was nice. So thank you to the Idol Story team for making me your random winner. It was very nice. But I took a pretty hard cut from fandom like a year ago. I cut ties with a lot of people who embodied a lot of really terrible things about fandom, and I basically got adopted by Aki. A huge part of my experience with Love Live, my peak fandom was 2018. I would just have had so many flashbacks lately to just the most exciting parts of discovering like what the gays did, the whole world of gay Love Live fandom. It was so exciting to me. It was my first exposure to a lot of different things, and I've been having a lot of flashbacks to that. But yeah, pretty quickly on my own, I got wrapped up in fandom that I didn't like and moved away from, and then got adopted by the YouTubers who made it so fun for me, which has been absolutely surreal for the last year. But I basically spent a long time just with my friends enjoying idol stuff and enjoying games, and in that time revived gaming, which is certainly a thing. But I had 173 followers after I did a pretty big following purge like last February, and I still have less than 173 followers. Some days I'll have 173, many days I have more or less. But I realized that I've been very closed off to the world, for sure. There's a lot of reasons to do that. I think I've been going through the process of sort of being a participant in fandom in one way and moving it to a different kind of way. I think that participation in fandom from the point of an adult and a creator are two really big things that I think I want to contextualize all of my fan activity with, all of my weebery. And with that context, I've been able to reach out and talk to other people like Erin Cerise, who was another huge influence on the legitimization of being a weeb for me. I think she's an amazing YouTuber. She does a lot of magical girl stuff now. And she did a lot more Love Live back in like 2017 and 2018 when I was first discovering the whole world. And getting to talk to the people who made a lot of the content that I enjoyed was really eye-opening, and it helped me kind of realize, like, I'm not the kind of person who wails. I don't have that much money. I don't go crazy buying merch to show off my love for my best girl or anything. I like merch quite a lot. But, I'm not a competitive fan. I'm not somebody who posts a ton about my fave. I'm not in that part of fandom, but finding a place a bit removed from it, but still creating stuff for it has really helped me to sort of enjoy it again. And it was really exciting seeing people give a little bit of feedback for the Yo video on Idol Story. People I never met before. I never used Idol Story before. But it felt really good. And being randomly selected as the winner was sort of encouraging. So I'm definitely going to keep doing more stuff like that. It was actually pretty easy. Well, I only lost an entire night of sleep from excitement, but And there's a lot of editing too. But now that I've made the Yo video, I know what I'm in for when I make a video like that. And I think I can make a lot more like that. And in fact, it's not even my only top 10 that I'm working on right now. It's well known that I've been working on my top 10 games of all time. So definitely look forward to more news on that. I forgot I even got to announce that during the next Direct. It's known, but I got to announce it and maybe add more stuff and spice it up. But I guess what I mean by all that is that I'm really enjoying sort of putting my face with Love Live stuff again and sort of sharing my take, what I think is great, making it fun with my own commentary. That was really healing in a lot of ways, and talking to people who do that and have had success doing that has been really grounding. So I definitely want to find a place for idle stuff alongside what's mostly been a game-oriented channel so far. A big part of the summer is going to be finding a peace between two spheres of weeb YouTube that don't usually cross, or usually one overtakes the other if you do both. I don't know. But I'm still a student. I'm still learning a lot of things. And regardless, I know that it's fun to do both Let's Plays and making idle stuff. So I will do both. This is kind of just an extension of the channel portion. But one thing that I did want to talk about is I had a thread one morning where it hit me that if one thing was changed in Love Live Sunshine, the character of Daya could have been executed a lot better, and I think I want to immortalize that thought. I think the second half of this video is going to mostly be me getting opinions out here and feelings that I think need to be voiced. A big issue that I think exists with Love Live Sunshine's portrayal of Daya is that she comes across as angry for no reason. And my friends have given examples. Like, it feels like, Ellie was strict for a reason in the original anime, right? Ellie got mad because she was serious, and you realized she was serious because she had a hard childhood. She was a really rigorously trained dancer, and that's really intense, and it did a lot to her brain. But Daya, a lot of the times, comes off as frivolous when she gets mad, and there's one really key problem with that. People who are serious need to be believable, and strong characters need to be strong. You know what I mean? So, I had a vision, right? So you see her playing her koto, her long stringed instrument that's like really old. The koto kind of takes you back many eras in Japanese culture. It used to be a big sign of class, and like in the Heian era, for example, court women who were hoping to get married, or the daughters of court people, would really practice their koto usually. And really pretty koto playing. Back in the Heian era, girls would be hidden behind curtains for most of their lives. It's part of the courtship process. It was a long time ago. And oftentimes, all that you could really get to know a girl from was her koto playing, the quality of it. And it's a very serious thing. It's very, it's a big part of Japanese culture. It's very pretty. And the parallels to idlehood or dancing aren't unreasonable. So what I'm basically saying is I think Daya could have been executed a lot better if you legitimatized her playing of the koto and the way that she's sort of a traditional Japanese lady, which isn't something that I think all Western fans have a great grip on, and I don't think it should be expected that you do. But if it's executed with confidence and it's directly executed, Daya could be a first exposure to a lot of sort of traditional old-fashioned ways of being a Japanese woman. And I'll link the thread below. I won't try to recreate the thread here, but my gist was that if they tweaked the scenes in which like Ruby is talking about like, oh boy, my sister hates school idols, and like they're all practicing and stuff, because this is like episode 4 or something. There's like 5 of them, right? There's like Chika, Yo, Riko, Hanamaru, Ruby, and Daya's like, I won't let you be school idols. I think that if you let her be serious, you showed a scene where she's practicing the koto, right? And maybe it's like a crossover thing where Ruby's like, wow, my sister sure is complicated. And then you see her like having complicated thoughts, and she's like pouring it all into the koto. And you're like, wow, why is she so serious about this? What is her passion? I think that could have been an interesting parallel to Ellie's dancing. And I think just giving her a thing would be so effective. And what I'm backing that up with, that wasn't in my Twitter thread, is like the first thing that you see in All Stars. After writing this thread, I went to All Stars. And in her episodes, the first episode is she's cleaning trash on a beach. She's organizing all the kids and they're cleaning trash on a beach. And you're like, wow, it takes such power to be so purifying. Like, you're so dedicated to purification. And she's like very strict, but she's also kind of chill. So right off the bat, like, the protagonist isn't like, wow, what a loser. Why is she so strict about cleaning? You're sort of empathizing with Daya, which is a big difference from the anime. And in the second episode, right, you're talking to Ruby in Urdano Hoshi, and you hear Koto playing, or you don't know it's Koto because you're a normal young Japanese girl. You're like, what is that sound? And you and Ruby go and investigate, and it's Daya practicing the Koto. And you're like, oh, I can't disturb her. And she's like, you can come in. And it's like, whoa, she's so powerful. And one thing that the protagonist notes in her head is the sound is so purifying. It's like this powerful, purifying sound. And immediately you have this new definition of Daya as a strong force who's purifying. Like, her seriousness is pure. It has a positive thing. And it's directly tied into her playing the koto. And a lot of what I mean by all this is her wanting to be an idol is a serious part of her personality. So what if during all the years in which she wasn't able to be an idol, she was pouring it into being a good koto player? Like, you couldn't just throw in like the Riko piano thing, like, oh, Dio has a koto contest, so we're going to support her. It'd be one way to legitimatize what she's doing, but you already have the piano contest and the piano is a part of Riko's character. But regardless, as a side thing, I think there are ways to make us like take that seriously and be like, this is a cool pursuit, versus like, why is she so upset? Like I think there's a scene in Sunshine that kind of sparked all this, where she's like practicing and like the idols are making sound and she like looks like frustrated in like a villain way, like, I'm doing a stupid like superfluous thing and they're bothering me and I'm so vain that I'm mad. It's like not the way you want to portray it. So yeah, I had to get that out there. I think that playing up Daya as a traditional girl with very strong and old-fashioned and purifying energy would be a lot stronger than like, I get mad about things. I get mad when Ruby doesn't tie her shoes. Like, sometimes it just feels like she's getting mad for no reason to show that she's the mad one. And it undermines her so much. It undermines the third year. It undermines the Kurosawas. Because if you let Daya be a really strong and traditional character, which she is to some degree, as is poorly executed, then you get this contrast where Daya is like an old-fashioned courtesan or an old-fashioned symbol of girlhood, and Ruby is a very modern pop idol with candy and kawaii, and she's small and she's very modern. That contrast would have been so interesting. I think it's easy to nitpick Sunshine for things that could have been better within it. And that's my thing. That's my case. I think you could have very easily made an awful lot of those scenes hit differently if we were taking Daya seriously and a part of her character was pursuing, because I think like the inn that her parents own is like a traditional inn, like a ryokan or something. I really want to say, and Kurosawa I think is a very dated and classic sounding name. It's all there, like it's just right there, just nobody made anything out of it. I would sip water if I had water. Oh my god, that's not water. That's juice. It was clear and it was at the bottom of my glass and it was just so tangy compared to what I was expecting. Oh my gosh. Okay, where are my notes? So yeah, third section is games. How do I want to begin games? Well, I've been playing a lot of them. I guess I can start with the negative. I went back and I opened up New Leaf because I had it downloaded on my 3DS. My nice Animal Crossing 3DS. I have it right here, but you can't see it. It's very nice. Maybe I'll put a picture in for you. I don't see why. Give myself work in the future. So the new 3DS XL was pretty popular in the States. There were plenty of ways to buy the new 3DS XL. The new 3DS was not that easy to get. It's like the new 3DS XL. It was smaller, it was harder, it had a bigger screen, it could read amiibos, it had like the C-stick nub. And back when I was a Smasher in Smash 4, I was like, this is exactly what I need. This is perfect. I think I thought I was going to be able to get tilts onto the C-stick nub And it's just an eraser nub that you never were able to change the inputs on. So I know for a fact that I got nothing out of it, but it's still a very sturdy and nice 3DS. But I gave it to my sister to enjoy for many years because she loves Animal Crossing exclusively. She doesn't play any other video games. She just likes Animal Crossing, and I think that's one of the coolest ways to experience video games. And it was just like growing good energy with her for many years. And then I got it back because she has a Switch now, a really nice Animal Crossing Switch, because she's, I guess, spoiled with nice Animal Crossing things. But yeah, what I meant to say is the only way you could buy a new 3DS in the States was this Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer crossover thing, which is really pretty and really nice. And now that it's been a few years, it feels like a collector's item. But I've had this wonderful piece of machinery for a long time, moving around in my family. And now it's back. It's very nice and small and sturdy. And I have both Happy Home Designer and New Leaf downloaded on there. So I was thinking, hey, like, you know, New Leaf is on here. I might as well have a file. So I opened it up and I started it. Actually, I hadn't actually never played it. I had started a game in fall of 2017 during my peak Muse phase. Actually, this is all connected. I called the town Honoka, and I opened up Honoka in April 2020, and I walk up to, I think, not Renee. God, she's a pink rhino or a purple rhino. And she's like, you have a lot of balls showing up here after leaving us. Things haven't been the same since you left here 2 years ago. Which is just so much fantastic drama for just an Animal Crossing NPC character. But yeah, it's been 2 years since I left them. In that town, the weather was bad. Everybody was ugly. I didn't recognize any of them from 2 years ago. 3 years ago, basically. 2.5 years ago. I abandoned them 2 years ago. 2 years ago I left them. How dare I show up? They're all gone now. I did delete it and remake one. And I wasn't... I mean, I've never been the hugest Animal Crossing person until I booted up City Folk last summer, which was a big part of my gaming revival. Maybe that's actually going to be a subtopic tonight. I don't have that much more time. But yeah, it was a really big thing. While I was getting back into gaming and I was recovering from my surgery, I picked up City Folk. We just had a copy because we had one. And we played it a bit when we were younger. Back in 2009, it just felt like the new Animal Crossing. Wild World was my first one on the DS. And I remember vividly just being like, what is this game? What is this ugly, confusing game? Because I was like 8 and I didn't understand it. And I did end up playing it. The more that I play Animal Crossing now, I see villagers and I realize like, oh, like I did know you from 2008. And I remember my town. I had like Nibbles and Agent S and Samson the Mouse and Alice the Koala was like the first thing I remember. I remember Alice the Koala and a rock and hitting it and a pillbug came out. It was Christmas in like 2006. Anyhow. That was a pretty seamless transition to City Folk when it came out because those games are really similar. And we played that. My sister played it a lot more than me. That was when she really fell in love with Animal Crossing, I think. And then when the new one came out in 2013, I was sort of going through, that was another kind of renaissance of nerd culture for me. That 2013 was a really big year for me. I was 15. I was just buying a lot of games back then. Awakening came out to start the year, which is a fantastic way to start your year. And when June came around, the June after my freshman year of high school, I grabbed a New Leaf, and it was nice. I played one account that summer, and then I deleted it in the fall because I came out as a woman and didn't want to have a male villager anymore. And then the next summer, I had 4 villagers because it was so fun to make girl villagers. But regardless, I don't think I ever really tapped into like the heart of Animal Crossing back then. I was really like objective based, I think. I was too focused on like getting stuff done, maybe. And I remember a few things from those games. And now I had Marshall in one of them, and he's an internet celebrity now. So I'll sell my memories. Aside from that, I don't remember a lot, but you know, I played it, and playing the New Leaf now really sent me back like way far. And just, I guess anything from the past, like sounds and video game moments will take you back if they're in your brain. So it was nice nostalgia in a way I didn't expect, but oh my God. That game does not hold up after New Horizons. I'm not trying to say that it wasn't extremely powerful in its day. It was really great in its day. I have a lot to say about the whole administration of Ayakio Goku, and she co-directed New Leaf. That was her first game as a co-director. She's a director in Nintendo. She had started in other parts of, I think, Animal Crossing. The first Animal Crossing was one of her very first games. I know she had a part in a lot of decision making on it, the GameCube one. So she was always a part of that team. She was one of the first women to really push for things in Nintendo. She was one of the first women to do things in Nintendo, besides probably side work. And I hope people start talking a lot more about her and start collecting more details about her life, because she's really important. I think every Nintendo director is important, and she really takes the cake. But there really was this sense when she came into charge with New Leaf that, like, we got to change things with Animal Crossing. City Folk didn't sell that great. I love it. It's absolutely my second favorite game. I think it's the best of the old ones, because it was just another one of the old ones, more or less. But New Leaf was this interesting moment of change where agency changed, and they invented the mayor role for that. But the thing about New Horizons is they basically just pushed that farther and gave you a new power of authority. And I could say a lot about what I think about the concept of New Horizons, and it might actually be a great time to say that. But basically, I think New Horizons just stepped it up so far from New Leaf that New Leaf isn't as nostalgic as the classic games up to City Folk, especially for me. And it's not as fun as the new one. And by God, it is not the prettiest. It is so ugly. I feel so bad. The UI is beautiful. Like the keyboards when you're inputting data. The text bubbles I like more than I thought I was going to like. I didn't, in my brain, while I was playing City Folk, I was like, I could never go back to those black text bubbles. And even still, they do feel very 2013 vanilla 3DS, like first 3DS title of a franchise, like Kirby Triple Deluxe, Link Between Worlds, Street Pass games. The problem is a lot of these games just look like Street Pass games to me. Great for the time, probably. They had to work with 3D. I'm not saying that it's like a crime that they existed the way that they did, but they are not pretty today. Like, the grass is just so like fuzzy in a way that it shouldn't be. My villager looks so tall and pale and just awkwardly shaped compared to New Horizons. Just progress is progress sometimes. It just wasn't. I mean, I did miss, I realize, having a mobile Animal Crossing, because that's the way that I experienced a lot of Animal Crossing, and the smallness of the town was novel. There was a lot of novelty to that, and I liked kind of being able to run around my whole town very quickly when I needed to. And it was fun. It was satisfying, just doing things, selling things. But now that I've gone back, I have to say, villagers were so different in New Leaf. People have complained that they're too approachable in this game. I'm not going to say anything about the fact that there isn't much villager dialogue. I think that there's a lot of progression that I think people haven't got to, and I'm still getting to, because I've been noticing that, Jesus, just to give you an example, like, Day 2 of New Horizons, if you talk to a villager like more than 2 times in their house, they get depressed and like hurt your feelings in such a bad way that you never mess with them again. And I know my sister had a similar experience. Like, they were so delicate, they were so human, there was just, you had to be a certain way with them. And I recently realized you can keep talking after a certain point in your relationship, and it will start to just make your relationship better. So I've been having fun, and I've been getting into a lot more dialogue with the New Horizons villagers, but for the first couple of weeks, for the first month even, all I did was talk to them like twice a day. And as soon as they were like, why are you still talking to me? I like really quickly backed off. But things have gotten a lot better. I will say I like them a lot better. Because, oh my God, the way that it worked in New Leaf was just as soon as I walked into somebody's house, we were best friends. I chatted it up with Gwen the Penguin for like 30 minutes. And always, like, the second time that you talk to them, they ask a chore of you, which gets really taxing. Like, I've been missing chores quite a lot, like deliver this to somebody, catch a bug for me. They're a lot less common in New Horizons, but it makes me want to do them more, honestly. And it fits a lot more with City Folk, because in New Horizons, Jesus Christ, they were just like things to do is how I felt. Like, it just felt like you could talk to the villager until your friendship was max bonded and just nobody would stop you. Like, this penguin just did not treat me as a stranger at all. Like, kudos to them for having so much dialogue, but it was just such a interesting and different and watery experience. Just such a watery game by comparison. Again, it's not really fair to make fun of a game from 2013 for the 3DS compared to like a bomb-ass installment on the Switch. They were both bomb-ass installments. Really, really, really good for their time. And a lot of hard work went into them. And, God, I think I just wanted to express that the fossils are so blurry so as to be, I guess, viewable in 3D that they don't look like anything. They just look like fuzzy little balls. It just looks like lint. Like, I just can't make out the pattern on them. Blathers looks sad inside his museum, although the museum looks really good from the outside. Every single time you donate something to Blathers, he goes to start a tangent and then stops himself, which takes like 3 speech bubbles of wasted time, and then you don't get to see anything because he doesn't actually tell you anything about the critters that you donate because people complained about it, I guess. So that was just a travesty. You know, if you're gonna make it more convenient for us, then just make him not say anything. It's so frustrating every time having to have the extra dialogue and then not get anything out of it. Yeah, didn't mean for Blathers to get the brunt of my anger, but with that out there, I'll say that's all I have for you today, actually. I fresh ran out of content right when I got interrupted, and I paused at a great time. But have a good night. Perhaps I alluded to a bunch of interesting timelines, content, and things to look forward to here, and interesting parts of my past you want to hear more about? Whoa, I don't know. But stay tuned very soon for Yuzucast Direct, and look forward to the summer. I'm starting to. I was very confused by my summer, and now I'm starting to look forward to it quite a lot. And I hope this was enjoyable. Even if it wasn't, I had fun. So I'm looking forward to editing it. Peace.